Hi, my name is Nacho, welcome back to the channel. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, because this show deserves nothing and then less. I'm kinda tired of watching the Acolyte. Not only because it's bad, because it's really f***ing bad. Also because it's the most amateur shit I've ever had to put up with, as well as the fact that it costs almost as much as House of the Dragon. But also because after having to watch it, think of a thumbnail, think of a catchy title, write this script. Shit, I could be at the beach right now. Imagine not having to... edit, render, post, wait an hour until the goddamn internet uploads this shit, then hope that Amandla Stendberg doesn't copyright me since she's so bored about the Discord, cause otherwise I have to do it all over again. Just to have YouTube look at my video up and down and say, hey, maybe next time, champ. What do you mean? Hi, post-medication Nacho here. Turns out that this show is actually a massive success. Despite the bad reviews, and we the fans are the real problem, based on data thoroughly collected from, according to 4 different media publishers that just happen to be owned by the same company. Now, I thought for a second that Valnet was a subsidiary of Disney or had connections with BlackRock or Vanguard, cause more often than not, a large number of the worst takes about terrible shows all come from CVR, Collider, and Screen Rant. Funny thing is, I couldn't find much about these guys. Other than the fact that they have a DEI tab on their website, which is already a big red flag, multiple writers have called it the worst companies to work for, and a YouTuber that did a research on them had their video taken down by the very same people he investigated. That's totally not sus.
Coincidence? I think not!
But back to the Acolyte. I'm gonna keep this video very short because honestly, not a lot happens in this episode. They balanced out the cocaine bender from the last episode by making this a tour of the retirement island Luke ends up in during The Force Awakens. And they say it's not the same place, but it is. They have to save their budget somehow, I guess. Also, this episode is super raunchy, so I'm cranking up the horny humor. You've been warned. We begin in Smiler Ren's man cave with Osha waking up with a bloody bandage around the wound that he clearly force healed in the previous episode. But who cares about continuity, right?
Don't ask questions, just consume product and then get excited for next product.
She walks outside to find him casually taking a bath in the ocean, and I'm gonna let the commentators take it from here.
As he begins to untie a belted knot from around his waist, she straightens up for a better look.
Oh my!
He begins to undress, revealing a prominent scar on his well-toned back.
Oh my!
Dropping his billowy-legged
Oh
husband,
my!
he steps forward with the sunlight accentuating his toned muscles.
So Osha grabs Smiler lightsaber like she's gonna shoot him with it, and he casually comes out of the water, digs out for the Force, and I know this guy's packing some real heat, because he just took a dip in the ocean, and Osha's looking at that package like she's ready to show him her dark side of the Force. Execute Order 69.
Nice.
I went skinny dipping on the ocean once, and I had to wait until it was dark enough for me to come out, because my dick suddenly decided to cosplay as a snapping turtle before a bite, and just hide in there. During all this, May is back in the ship with Sol, who sends a distress signal to the council while she looks for an angle to kill him. A quick mention to Lee Jung-jae, who looks actually disturbed throughout this whole sequence, one of the few displays of good acting in this entire thing. And the main problem here is the power of the ship, which Sol tries to fix but can't resolve, so he sends May, who he technically thinks is still Osha, the space mechanic. He even hugs her passionately while she remains indifferent, and he still doesn't detect her intentions, to fix it. And she just goes along with it. Now during this, Vassal, the they-them weasel, is running around the ship with Pip, who apparently tells it about May. Don't even know how at this point, who gives a shit?
Just consume product.
And he starts following her around. Back in Coruscant, Master Nepo is having a holo chat about politics, which I would give a fuck if this show didn't suck absolute ass cheeks. Which is what Smile is probably doing right about now, when Twink Skywalker comes in and informs her of Sol's distress signal. Now at this point of the series, I am fairly convinced that this show was made purposely to show the dark side in a more appealing way. And it boils down to how useless the Jedi are made to be, making dumb decisions, taking unnecessary steps into solving emergencies that just make them worse, but also how they are portrayed. Think about it. Master Torbin, the one-eyed jawbeard balding loser who was white-guilt out of existence. Telnaka, the fucking hipster Wookiee. Sol, who has relentless daughter issues. Bat-1 Kenobi, and posh gay Padawan. And on the other hand, heartthrob big wheelie Sith Lord who's gonna clap Osha's cheeks into the dark side. Like, make it more obvious. Let me teach you the ways of the Force. Acceptable. Sexual harassment. Smile and Osha are walking back to his cave, and he offers to either make it to the ship and leave or come in and get some food. I guess you can figure out which one she chose. May, on the other hand, finds the ship's power room where she runs into Pip and Basil, who already know she's faking, and starts humping her leg.
Me. Oh, bad busting, you humping!
He runs into the vents, leaving Pip behind, who gets resetted to factory settings. Someone greenlit this for a multi-million-dollar futuristic sci-fi show that takes place in space. But what no one is talking about is how she just killed a character with no repercussions whatsoever. Oh look, merch. By the way, this look awfully similar to the thing that Luke gets his titty milk later on. So Smilo continues to try to convince Osha to join the dark side by telling her the other ways you can harness the Force.
Are powerful emotions. Anger, fear, loss, desire.
Is it getting hot out here, or is it just that guy?
Osha leaves the cave while Smilo follows her, and again, I'm gonna let the commentators describe the rest.
She ignites the lightsaber and backs him against the mouth of the cave, holding it to his throat. She meets his sympathetic gaze. He gently takes hold of her arm, the red blade still throbbing right in front of his throat.
Come again?
Still throbbing right in front of his throat.
I'm sorry, I'm just not getting it. It sounded like you said...
Throbbing.
Never mind.
And then they fuck. In the ship, May confronts Saul about the dark mystery box they've been hinting at since forever, and it's super dumb at this point, because they don't even begin to reveal it. They stretch it more and more cause
We're storytellers.
but this show will not get a second season. Leslye Headland said it herself. They are waiting to reveal this till the last second to segue into a potential season 2, which will not happen. These episodes are 30 minutes long. They cannot afford this sort of plot tactics. But the power comes back on, and with her back turned, Saul stuns May. And we see Basil, who clearly told him that wasn't Osha. The fact that he's there strongly hints or fully confirms that this is the case. Yet Shields will argue that Saul knew the entire time. If so, why is Basil even in the picture? Plus, if he knew that was May with him all along, that means he purposely left all the bodies of his team, as well as Osha, who he wasn't sure was actually dead, to rot in that planet. With the rescue team arriving in Kofar, I want to point out that it was established by several characters that this planet is extremely uncharted. So we quickly jump to them finding the bodies. That was easy. We see X-23 lying in the ground. I'm extremely convinced that she'll get up at any minute. And what really confuses me is how Nepo Lady walks a few meters between bodies. We saw them run across the forest in what looked to be very different locations, but now they seem all condensed into a very small area, which completely goes against the widespread nature of the battle we saw on the last episode. But again, who gives a shit about continuity? Look, a lightsaber whip!
Oh my god, there it is.
180 no look killed a bug. Wow. The most powerful fly swatter in the galaxy. She even force pulled it from her other hip. Twinkie didn't even react to it. Amazing.
Who else would possess the power to slay such a strong group?
A fucking Sith! Finally, Osha is playing with Smiles' helmet next to a vein of cortosis, which he explains can shortcut lightsabers. Cool, thanks, I already knew. But if that's the case though, how are you repairing it with a welding tool? He also explains that the helmet blocks his senses, so he has to use the Force to see and hear. But the helmet also prevents Jedi from reading his thoughts, meaning it blocks the Force. So how is he able to use it to see and hear?
Don't ask questions.
Also, there's a theory that Nepo and Smilo are over 100 years old and he was her Padawan before shit hit the fan and she kicked him out, and the scar on his back is from her lightsaber whip. First of all, dumb cougar alert. Second, we already saw what her lightsaber whip did to a living creature. If she whipped him with it, forget about the scar, his spine would be gone. Osha puts on the helmet for some role-playing action, if you know what I mean. And we get the closing shot of the episode that anyone will find extremely familiar.
I'm your mommy.
And that was the 6th episode of The Acolyte. There's only 2 left, and I'm fairly convinced that Leslye Headland put herself in the story and is trying to convince people that the bad guys, like her, are good. So to the question, who's the actual villain in The Acolyte, it's very simple. It's Leslye Headland. Harvey Weinstein, former personal assistant. What really annoys me is that this is a $22 million episode that just rips off Anakin's origin story. Like, heavy breathing in a helmet? Come on! Each minute of this shite costs more money than most of us will see in a decade, and they spend it in a close-up of midget anteaters that will later be available in plushie form, only for $44.99. They cannot afford to put anything in there that doesn't advance the story, and they continue to invest in guy candy and in Soul's mystery box, as if there's anyone who actually gives a fuck about it at this point. But if you watch this far into the video, leave a like, let me know in the comments down below which is your favorite form of lightsaber. Dooku's curved hilts, which are totally badass. And as always, I've been at you. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.